Hello everyone, and welcome back to Creeper World 3. We're in the system made by Muad'Dib. And I guess let's check out Pothole. It does make me a little nervous. In fact, yeah, because I figured I would probably end up starting at the top, or I guess at the bottom of the pothole. And having to make an economy? How do we even do this? Ah, that's how. Okay. Didn't realize those were anti-creeper emitters. Great. Okay, so I've got some pulse guns set up. Trying to set them up on each corner. And I'm also trying to build up some economy, although we're actually doing pretty well on the economy front. Pretty soon here, I'm going to try to start pushing out towards one of the corners, but I think it looks scary, but I think we'll be alright. I think we've got ourselves a nice little high ground spot here, maybe? Maybe not. I think maybe I'm gonna need another pulse gun. And then we'll also get another reactor to support it, because clearly what we have is not enough. Well, actually, now it seems to be holding its own. Fantastic. So, let's place our nullifier down as soon as the reactor goes up. That's not a nullifier. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so now that that's taken care of, I think the rest of it will just be really easy. So I think I'm just going to actually finish this up real quick. I actually kind of thought that was going to be scarier, but no, it's pretty straightforward, and that took just a couple of minutes. Super flat. Alright, well, let's give this a try. I imagine it's exactly what it sounds like. Just one giant flat plane. Yeah, that is indeed what it appears to be. I would like to set myself up in one of these corners so that we get the siphon and the research and a couple of... In fact, trying to determine which ones are anti-creeper, because it looks like the corners are more or less protected, so it might actually be a good idea to place ourselves down in multiple corners, but I'm not so sure. I don't know. Let's give it a try. We'll have 2 in one corner and then 1 in another corner, and we'll see where that gets us. Because then I can just like start pushing down here, link them up, and push all the way across. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a try. Okay, I've got a couple of little networks set up here, and in fact, I realize now that I forgot to set up some defensive emplacements. Fingers crossed that holds out. Up here is doing pretty well, all things told. So let's try and bolster the economy around here a little bit. In fact, let's see if we can like fill in these little gaps here. Claim as much as we can. And I was actually pretty comprehensive around here, so that's good. Of course, the farther I expand outward, the more surface area I have to cover. Are there any spores? There are spores. Okay, that could actually be a bit of a problem. But our economy is doing well in both areas now. So let's just get some beam cannons to try and help that out. In fact, I was way too cautious up here, because we don't have nearly as much ground on our bigger base for some reason. Whoopsies. So you guys go there, and we'll expand outward just a little bit more. Try and claim a little bit more territory and therefore income. And should probably get one of those. That's a lot of spores. I'm gonna get some more beams because that could cause some real problem. On the plus side, though, I think the fact that I split myself up a little bit means that I now have, like, each area is going to come under attack by fewer spores, in theory. So, could end up being quite beneficial for us. Let's see, is there a way to make sure that I don't... Yeah, that's good. It is a little close to the creeper for my liking, but I think it'll be okay. Let's see if we can get another reactor. So, just as I mentioned, my plan is to hopefully try and breach across here and establish a singular front, because that will help us quite a bit. It'll increase the surface area we'll have to guard, but I don't think that'll be too big of a problem. In fact, let's throw down a forge. Awesome. And also maybe some relays. Let's get those going. I think we'll be alright. That's not a whole lot of spores. So now let's do something similar over here. I really don't want to take out that anti-creeper emitter by accident, because it's helping us quite a lot. And that confirms that we are in fact okay with our beams. Didn't even have any problems at all, so that's fantastic. Forge is up and running and accruing ether, so I'm going to shore up my defenses here and try to clear an area to attack this emitter and bolster my research and all that good stuff, and then we'll start making an attack over here. So as you can see, progress is going quite smoothly. I've had very few issues pressing out, actually. It looked scary, but once I got my defensive line established, it really just didn't even come close to being a problem. And so now I'm trying to soften up the stuff in this area, and we're going to, like I said, push north, but I'm also trying at least a little bit to push south from this direction, although that is proving to be a bit more difficult because there's this one guy here, but there's like nothing else around it that I can use to nullify and springboard, whereas there was like this one right here, and then I could like press out into these couple of things. So I think I'm mostly going to end up pushing from the south and pressing north, but we'll have to see. Either way, I am not at all concerned about this. This has gone extremely well, and I think it's going to continue to go well. In fact, it's only going to keep getting better the more we progress. So I will report back in a minute, probably when I've linked up my two areas here. It's been a little while, but I'm finally just about in a position to link my two things together. In fact, that should do it. And we're that'll link them up, and we just need to clear out that little area, and then we should be golden. In fact, we're still doing pretty well. I got a couple of Berthas, and they've been helping out us just a little bit, just keeping the creeper down in the back line, in the creeper's back line, that is. So that has been working out quite well for us. Our southern flank has admittedly been a little bit troublesome, but that's more due to mismanagement on my part than anything else. As you can see, it's kind of like, oh crap, is that gonna? We should. There we go. I used some sprayers to suck up some of the anti-creeper to redistribute it to an active one up at the front, and that's kind of it's working fine. It's just it's weakened the anti-creeper on this front, which is why it's like having some troubles here. But with this cutting that off, I don't think that'll be a problem for very much longer. And I should also rebuild my economy, I think. Let's get some of that. And then let's also increase our reactor production. My economy has actually been pretty stable for most of this. It's just right now it's not doing so hot. Mostly because of the Berthas, I think. But there was a little bit of disruption here with the, with linking stuff together. But it's obviously not enough to actually pose much of a problem, so I'm not at all concerned about that. And our upgrades are doing just fine. And we've been making some pretty steady progress. It's gone a little slowly just because I've been a little meticulous about it. As you can see, I've expanded a little bit more than just north and south as I originally planned to, just because there was the opportunity to do so. So that's kind of taken up more of my attention, but even still, it's still pretty much in the bag even right now. I just need to actually go and finish it off. So to that end, let's start pushing up on all fronts, I think. Oh dear, that's not good. Let's reinforce that a little bit. In fact, let's get some sprayers that are not sucking up creeper. And I think it might be worth it to get some bombers, because we've got plenty of anti-creeper here. Okay, now let's go and hit, I think up here would be a good first target. In fact, let's get some movement speed to help that along a little bit more. There we go. I think we can afford a few more. Yeah, now that we're using more of that anti-creeper, it's actually starting to get cleaned up. Should maybe slow that down a little bit. I'm going to focus more on Berthas, I think, because we've got plenty of room to build Berthas still. I'm finding that what's taking up all this time is not even at this point the difficulty of the amount of creeper or anything like that. It's basically just entirely because I have to traverse so much land. There's just so many things I have to do, basically. Ooh, I wonder if we can... Yeah, let's do that. That is a little obnoxious, but it's like the best kind of problem to have, really. Because like if it has to be difficult in some way, I'd rather it be difficult in a way that I can easily manage. But yeah, it's still proving like, you know, we'll get this done pretty easily. It's just a matter of me actually just getting it done, which might take a little while. Alright, basically connected up to this guy up here. It's quite nice. Oh, whoops. But I need to actually connect it up properly. Let's do that, and I think I'll move this up here. Then why not? Let's send our bombers on a little run here. We've got plenty of anti-creeper. Not really using it for anything else, so. Alright, so now we just we'll close in on the other stuff down here. Let's see if we can hit like all of them all at once. That'd be kind of cool. Well, not all of them, but we can definitely hit a whole bunch of them. In fact, okay. Let's try and get those connected up real quick. And let's also do that and that. Let's see where all this gets us. Oh, that's not good enough. That's unfortunate. Oh well, whatever. We'll deal with that later. Let's just connect up all the ones we've currently got. Well, we lost one, but that's fine. Sweet, that went pretty well, actually. And let's see if we can make it go even more well by finishing off the level. Whoopsies. Alright, got nullifiers placed on the last two emitters right now. Now we just need to wait a moment. Easy. I have no idea how long this episode is. I kind of want to save these two for the next episode, especially since this one looks like it might take a little while. So yeah, we'll save those for the next episode. Hopefully this one didn't end up being too short. But yeah, on the next episode we'll finish out the system and move on to the next one. So until then, see you later.